Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. My Sunday Orchid chat today is a bit different. Firstly, I'm not in it, because it's going to be short and I can't be bothered with all the setup. Also, some things that are different. Quite a few of the videos recently were filmed a while ago, and consequently I've been using them to fill in days when I'm not filming. And as a consequence of not doing a recent video, I haven't let people know that my daughter's down this weekend, which affects the videos. So it's a bit late now, but yes, so my normal sort of video routine is interrupted when I've got my son and his girlfriend came round yesterday as well, so visitors. It was quite funny. Picked Hannah up, got in the car. First thing she did was do her hands with a sanitizer. Which started us talking about the virus thing that's going on. And it is serious. I mean, Hannah's heart issue means she has breathing issues. Because her heart doesn't function properly, she doesn't oxygenate like we do, so she runs on a lower level of oxygenation because the heart function isn't feeding the lungs the way it should be. So she's in a high risk group straight away. You know, because this virus thing is effectively a lung infection, and anything like that, even a cold, affects her quite badly, and her breathing gets even worse. So that just brought it home to me that it is serious, and it dawned on me that in my world I've been self-isolating without thinking about it, on the grounds I don't hardly ever go out. And I've thought back to the last time I went out, and all I did was go round the supermarket to get bread and milk. I don't need to get backy anymore, but bread and milk. Otherwise I hadn't been out, and nobody visited me, so nobody'd been into the house. So my house was clean, and so was I. But for Hannah it's a big deal, so yeah, it just brought that home. And then a massive flurry of emails up until and including today, to do with the Bournemouth Orchid Society. And any of you that belong to orchid societies, you've got quite a high population of elderly people. That's the way it is, you know, retired people and that, like me. And some of those people are frail, and some of those people have the magic expression, underlying health issues. So they're in a high risk group. And basically the cancellations have started. Our next Orchid Society meeting has been cancelled, and that's a meeting where we have a plant clinic, which is good fun, and in addition to that, all the people get their certificates and their cups awarded from our previous show a few Saturdays ago. That now won't take place, those people won't get their awards. And in addition to that, a collective flurry of emails has cancelled our coach trip that I organise and put a fair bit of effort into doing such things. And that means some people have already paid money that I need to refund their money. I can't refund their money because the meeting's been cancelled. The knock-on effect is now starting to affect me, not in a major way, but enough to think about it. And effectively what, you know, we've got an email from the person who organises the international show at Malvern saying that at the moment nothing's been said about cancelling it, but according to government figures and statistics and what's happened in other countries, in the UK the peak of this virus is sort of 10 to 14 weeks from when it sort of got going a bit. And we're still lagging behind in the UK. If you look at some of the other European countries, specifically Italy, Germany, France, they're farther down the line with their outbreaks. They've had more deaths, far more people diagnosed and determined infected, lots more people isolated, whole communities been cut off, you know, with sort of police and military patrols to make sure they stay in there and don't get out. It's getting serious, quite honestly. More so than I appreciated, let's put it that way. But the Malvern show If you take 10 to 14 weeks from now, the Malvern show is the second or third weekend in June, it's going to hit it. So the chances are that may well be cancelled. Then you get the knock-on effect. You get companies like Equigenera from South America that import a huge amount of orchids into Germany for the show season in the EU. They've already arrived with their plants and all the shows are getting cancelled. It's getting serious, you know. Many events that have taken a lot of organising and some at great expense are just getting stopped. So it's getting serious. On a lighter note, but still in the same vein, I watched a video this morning from one of the channels I'm subscribed to, which is William Green's My Green Pets. And he's now confined to barracks. He's stuck at home in isolation. So obviously if you get in that position, it gives you an awful lot of idle time to do some thinking. And he's come up with what I consider to be a brilliant idea. And it's based on the large orchid events being cancelled. And his idea is pretty global. He's thought up an idea that is a virtual international orchid show. The idea being that on a given day, everybody posts pictures of an orchid onto Facebook, Instagram, or does a short video, and they all get posted on the same day. And there's a hashtag or a code that goes with it. The hashtag will be, or is, because he's already started his, it's going to be hashtag GVOS, yeah, 2020, yeah, and watch the video because he's got all his ideas sort of mapped out. I'll put a link to it in the description. And it's good stuff because, like, if you're a YouTuber that produces the videos, you choose your plant as though you were going to take it to a show, and you do like a 1-minute video, really short, quick video about your plant. Or you take a picture of it and stick it on one of the other social media venues like Facebook or somewhere like that. But you make sure that code is there so that on, during or after that day, you can put into a search the code and you will hopefully get a multitude of things to look at as though you'd gone to an orchid show. So it's a virtual orchid show that doesn't involve lots of people gathering together and crowding into small confined spaces and sneezing and coughing over everybody. I think it's a brilliant idea. I'm in. I shall do my bit. I may do my bit in several places because I'll probably put something on our Facebook group for me and I'll do a video. But the thing I'll make important is that, like with things in the past that are collective ideas on YouTube, like the orchid tags, for instance, things like that. I think somebody did a brilliant one once, which was my orchid collection in 60 seconds. Be as artistic as you like. I mean, somebody did dancing orchids, very, very clever bit of video editing. But the idea was that the title had to contain certain words so that search engines would find the collective set of videos. And lots of people didn't comply with the naming standards. So their videos didn't get found. They didn't take part when they thought they were. So stick to the rules. It's simple. All you need to do is put that code at the beginning of your video title. So for instance, if I was going to use this particular plant, my video would be called CVOS2020 BC Make. Yeah? Then the search engine will find the code and the name of my plant. Yeah? Then people can go through choosing which ones they look at, or collectively look at lots and lots of them. And by, I think the date was April the 4th. I can confirm that in the description, because I'll have to go and watch it again. But on that given day, given that far from now till then, there's going to be a much larger percentage of people stuck at home. Either because they've chosen to, because they need to, or they've chosen to because they want to stay out of the way and keep away from this thing going round. Now, I think it's a good idea, and the more people that take part, the better. And there's no excuse, really, because if you're watching this, then you have access to the internet, and you are probably involved with YouTube, even if you're only a watcher. And I set up my Facebook group for those who don't do videos but still want to share pictures. So there's your vehicle. Use the Facebook group. Use your own Facebook account if you want. You might not get many hits in there. But the Facebook group is a good vehicle. I mean, we've got nearly 1,000 members. You know, if nearly everybody that's a member in that Facebook group posts a picture of their best plant on that day, think how many hits that'll get. So it's a brilliant idea. I think it's marvellous. I'm in on it, definitely. So the cancellations are getting serious now. I was supposed to be settling down to watch a rugby match yesterday afternoon. That got cancelled. Even though I have no sympathy, virtually all the football in this country has been cancelled. I don't like football, so that doesn't worry me. But again, you've got the smaller football clubs. If they don't take at the gate the spectators, they don't make any money. Well, they've still got to pay rent for their site, they've still got wages to pay, and they've got no income. It's getting serious, and there'll be lots of small businesses that rely on footfall, and the people aren't getting out and about. Everywhere's getting a bit quiet, where people are staying in and only going out when absolutely necessary. Businesses are going to go out of business and things. It's a serious thing, you know. I mean, Sarah at Burnham's, I think it's the Devon Orchid Society, hold their Orchid Society meetings at Burnham's, which is a selling idea from Sarah's point of view. You've got the whole Orchid Society are at the nursery. They probably buy a few plants, you know, stuff like that. So it's getting serious. We can't help it. There's not a lot we can do about it. And the recommendation of just keep your eye on your hands and be sensible. Like, you know, if you have to go to the shops to get food and things like that, when you come out, sort your hands out. You've been touching stuff that other people have touched. Sort your hands out before you take it home and get it in your house. You know, just be sensible. Take precautions and advise. You know, if you've got elderly parents or grandparents or something that maybe like some old people are, no names mentioned, Roger springs to mind, who are a bit stubborn, don't like being told what to do. And that's me down to a T. You can ask me to do anything you like, but you tell me to do something, I'm liable to back up and say, no, I'm not doing it, even if I wanted to, just out of stubbornness. So keep your eye on family members, friends, neighbours. You know, some people might need some help because they can't get out, or they're not allowed to get out. So we're all a community, and that's the good thing about our YouTube community. It is a community. Well, don't just think of yourself, but you must think of yourself first and foremost and look after yourself. Otherwise, somebody else has got to look after you. Then you're involving other people in your needs, if you see what I mean. So keep yourself safe, and you avoid others having to get involved. Minimise it. You know, it's going to have to take its course now. It's got in everywhere, and in some places it's really, really serious. But it will sort itself out. The brightness is there. If you look at the outbreak point in China, their number of new people is going down rapidly. The number of people who are not making it is going down rapidly. Well, countries like the UK are at the start of the upward slope. It will peak and it will come down. Yeah? But if you're in a high risk situation, look after your flipping self. Take the precautions. Stay in, you know. Nothing wrong with taking your dog for a walk. That's fresh air. Fresh air is good, and it gets you out of the house. And when you take your dog for a walk, what do you touch? Absolutely nothing. Yeah? But don't have a meeting with 3 or 4 other dog walkers all huddled together trying to keep warm because there's a cold wind. Be sensible. Keep your distance. Just be sensible. You know, this is no different to a flipping flu outbreak at the end of the day, except for, you know, for those in those risk categories, it's serious. It could be your end. You just think it through. Don't be one of those people. Try and avoid it. So that's it for today. This thing has got a hold. It's going to get everywhere. There will be a lot of people that you know that can become involved. Yeah? Because even people that aren't infected, it's like at the Bournemouth Orchid Society show, while we were setting up and it was just members floating around, no public were in or anything like that, I walked in at first thing in the morning. I said, anybody else who sneezes or coughs anywhere near me is going in the river, and in 10 minutes they'll be out to sea. Just keep your distance. You know, but that went ahead, and at that time in the UK we were really at the early stages, so I would say it was relatively safe to do so. But there is no safe place apart from in your own home with nobody visiting. And if your home's full of people, you could have a house of 4 people where 3 people don't go to work, stay at home all day. That's fine. They don't go out, nobody comes round, fine. But then you've got a younger member of the family who's still going to work. They're going to a workplace. Are they driving there? Are they going on a bus or a train and then coming home? Yeah? So you can see, you know, the community spreading is going on. So look after your flipping selves. Take those precautions and think. Most important thing, think. I mean, I did think at the Orchid show, it was held in a a sort of community centre sort of thing. The first time I went in the loo, obviously I did what I needed to do while I went in there in the first place, and they had extra soap put on, and the water was very hot, almost too hot to put your hands in. Perfect for giving your hands a nice good scrub. And then there's a hand dryer on the wall with a button to push to turn it on. Oh, I've just got all my hands clean, now I'm going to go and touch a button. But then I thought, who is pressing that button? The only people pressing that button are people who've just washed their hands. So the button's probably clean, isn't it? But the door handle into the toilet wasn't, because that was being used by people coming in before they'd washed their hands. So think. Just think about where your hands have been. And if you have to go somewhere where you need to touch items that other people could have been in contact with, as soon as you get away from that place and are free in the outside world or back in your own car, sort your hands out before you go touching loads of other stuff. It is fiddly, excuse me, but pretty straightforward. And yeah, I think the orchid world of shows and gatherings for the near future is just basically off, or at least on hold, and that's how it has got to be. So we're just going to have to put up with it. But I mean, the Malvern show for me is a special event, and as a treat this year I'd booked in at the hotel for me and Hannah. So we were going to drive down on the Saturday at a leisurely pace, join in with the festivities in the evening, which is a gathering of the show committee and some others and a couple of traders, and we have a lovely Chinese meal with lots of alcohol, and fun is had by all. And then the idea was night in the hotel, get up, have a nice cooked breakfast and go to the show on the Sunday and then drive home. That's off. It's just not going to happen, is it? So yeah, enjoyment is getting taken away from us. It'll come back. It's not the end of the world. Just make sure you're not one of those on that list where it is the end of the world. Stay safe and look after yourselves. And go and watch the video that I've suggested. The link is in the description. That's another thing on YouTube I've noticed. People do not read the descriptions of videos. They watch the video, but they don't read the description. So this one, if you want to go and see this video and learn all about this virtual orchid show, you'll need to read the description and click on the link. if you're not already subscribed to that channel and have already seen it. On the YouTube group, Martin has already posted the link to the video, so that video is available on the Facebook group, sorry, already. I was going to do it, and when I got there, Martin had already done it. So that's been done, so everybody on the Facebook group knows about it. Yeah, let's get the word around. Let's make it a big event that we can do from the comfort of our armchair, using our phone or our tablet or our computer or whatever. And let's make it a good event, enjoyable, with as many people as possible taking part from all walks of life in all parts of the world. A truly international but virtual orchid show. Cheers, William. He does come up with some good ideas sometimes. I'm a little annoyed I didn't think of it myself, but I'm glad it's been thought of, and let's get as many people to join in as possible. And tomorrow is a travel day. I'll be taking Hannah home. I have no prepared stored up videos, so there won't be anything tomorrow. I'll give it a break for a day. And I'll be back to some sort of normality on Tuesday. And plans for the near future, I've just noticed, because Hannah's here, she's still smoking, annoyingly, so the back door got opened and we had a walk around the back garden looking at stuff. My bonsai trees buds are swelling. It's time to give them their spring trim. So something a bit different on my channel. I'll be looking at some of my bonsai and doing a little bit of work on those. That'd be something a bit different. I've also got part 4 of our Project Orchid series to do. That's the cooler, shadier types. That'll get the last part of that done. That'll be next week sometime. Plus, I'm hoping to do the orchids to go and get those sorted out next week, if I can. That's not a promise. That's a nice. Would be nice if I could. But I'm still waiting on a couple of addresses. And Insa, if you're watching this and still watching this far in, I appreciate you've got troubles with email. I'm going to get at you via Martin. Yeah, so apologies for going through a back door, but I know that Martin has got your address, and I can't get your address from you because your email's not working. So you're not seeing my emails asking for it, and therefore you can't reply anyway. So I will get your address via that route, and that way I can get your box sorted out. I've got one other person that's supposed to be having a plant that still hasn't replied to any of the emails. They're only getting one plant anyway, so if they don't get in touch and the plant doesn't end up going, it's not the end of the world. So that hopefully will be sorted in the near future. It just reduces my workload, which was the plan in the first place. So we will get on with that as soon as possible. I think we've gone past any ridiculously cold weather periods now, but I will still keep my eye on weather forecasts for the EU, where the parcels are going, because although it might be mild in the UK, there could be 2 foot of snow in Germany for all I know. So I will do some checks, and then we'll get those posted off, and we'll go from there. But yeah, thanks for the people who commented, but again, because all the words were in the description of the video, not many people read the description. That's just the way it is. I'm not moaning. But the last Wessex Orchid Show video that I put up, I did put in the description, can you tell me which of the types of videos you liked best? And I only got a few answers, so it's still a little open-ended, but it seems the popular one was no music with me doing a voiceover. But some actually liked the ones with just the music, and some did actually like the voiceover with the music, providing it's a bit quieter next time, because I did do that a bit loud. So, but there won't be any show videos for the foreseeable future, so I don't have to worry how I'm going to do the next one yet, do I? Worry about that when it comes round. Anyway, thanks for listening and the waffle, and take care. It's important, yeah? This is serious stuff now. It's getting in everywhere, and it's quite possible that people I'm talking to now that are watching this are going to lose someone. It's serious. So take care and look after those in those vulnerable groups if you are in any way responsible for them, related to them, visit them, yeah? So look after yourself first and foremost. If you're ill, you can't help anybody else, can you? So look after yourself and put some help in if you think you can safely. Yeah? But if it's unsafe to help somebody else and put your own self and family at risk, careful. Don't go mad. And I will see you next time. And let's see if we can get some cheerier notes. But these are difficult times, so treat it with due caution and respect. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.